I'm starting to come down with something, as you can probably hear. So try and bear with me here. Alright. This video is not going to be one topic, honestly, because I can't stand listening to myself that much. So instead of making 3 videos, I'm just gonna make 1. Now, oh, sorry, I apologize. Okay. While listening to all of this, at least at the beginning, I want you to remember, men in general, obviously not every single male out there, generally men tend to be better with things like math and science. There are a number of reasons for this. But I think this has been established over and over again to the point where why do we need to beat a horse with a dead horse with a stick? Now, once again, we see this wonderful society of ours, essentially declaring that, well, here, I'll just read the title. Teachers Group, Math is the Domain of Old White Men. Published September 12th, 2014. This is somebody that is associated with Teach for America, or Teach America. What this is that this is a group of well-meaning idiots where they go around and try to teach in inner cities, but they don't actually want to help any of the children in the inner cities. No, they just want to go and teach them how to be brainless idiots, or as has been called a few times, useful idiots, because they tend to do what they are told. But within this article, I'm going to try and leave out some of the more irksome portions. Apparently, the problem with math, the problem with 1 + 1 = 2, 2 + 2 = 4, 4 + 4 = 8, and so on and so forth, all the way until the end of eternity. Yes, I realize there is no end to eternity by definition. Ugh, semantic Nazis. Ugh, they're everywhere. Anyways, apparently one of the problems is that most of the noted and historical mathematicians are white. Well, okay, maybe I should clarify. Most of the historical and noted mathematicians throughout history are white and Asian. No, that doesn't quite work either. Wait a minute. I think I could go back to the time of the Egyptians. Didn't they have mathematicians and people who could figure out geometry when they were building all their temples and their cities, using very simple hand tools and building things that we still would, it'd be nearly impossible for us to replicate today. The stupidity of these people. Alright? Come on. We write in what is called Arabic numerals. Well, they're technically not Arabic numerals. They weren't Arabic in origin. They originally came from India. Then the Arabs held on to them. And then when the Europeans came out of their 1,000-year funk and decided to, you know, maybe if I wash my ass, I won't get sick. After they eventually figured that out, and we have the Renaissance, we gain the Arabic numerals. Until then, many of the scribes were still using like Roman numerals. Has anyone here ever tried writing 32,719,872 in Roman numerals? By the way, that was just a number I pulled out of my ass. Simply put, I sure as hell would not do that. And for most of Europe that up to this point in time is essentially illiterate, something that complicated just really doesn't have too much value. And everyone who's all proud of having a language that's based on Latin, for mainly modern terms, that's backwards. Language has evolved actually over the eons as far as sentence structure. Oddly enough, sentence structure associated mainly with Germanic languages, which includes English. All right, English is the great bastard grandchild of German, with a bunch of Latin modifications thrown in. All right, that's essentially English at this point. But I digress. We have built up over the years, and we should be teaching that perhaps we should take note of all these great discoveries and works in the past. But oh no. Apparently, let me see if I can, here we go. Astonishingly, in proudly promoting cultural competence and critical consciousness in education, the TFA, Teaching for America's website's homepage links to a Wikipedia definition of critical consciousness that describes it as a concept developed by Paulo Freire and grounded in post-Marxist critical theory. And what do we know about critical theory? Well, essentially it employs mainly only female tactics of whining and bitching and throwing things until you get what you want. You don't actually have to offer any other alternative. You really can't question critical theory. And since you can have every group employ critical theory for their own for their own ends, it's still in the end essentially designed to have a common convergence point. And that tends to be socialism, communism, depravity, starvation, freezing to death. That's always fun. As recently reported, the site also contains letters from 5th grade students asking text publisher Houghton Mifflin why they did not include in their textbooks that Christopher Columbus burned, slayed, and hanged Native Americans who would not find gold for him. Okay. Now, and once again another paragraph. As recently reported, the site are in keeping with their racism of evil white men theme. The site uses a story involving racism against African Americans, of course, to suggest that the idea that math is neutral, rational, and logical is a myth, and the premise that 2 + 2 = 4 is naive. I'm going to be leaving a number of links that involve this one. Yeah, this is retarded. Okay, now on to the next part, which is why this is kind of running together here. There is now a college, Goocher College, that is no longer accepting applications. No. Apparently, test scores and overall grades, GPA, stuff people actually work for. Alright? Apparently, those are not measures of work and intellect or effort. No. These are indicators of wealth and privilege. I crap you not. So, in order to even things out a bit, the college application has changed, except the traditional $55 application fee remains. It's no longer an essay or any of that. No. It is now a 2-minute video that you make and produce and then submit. It is now a popularity contest. It is if you say the most liberal, asinine shit you can possibly imagine, you are more than likely to be accepted. Hail the great debasement of any intellectual society. Now keep in mind, this is on top that apparently, I need to verify this, but apparently Harvard is now becoming the college you can't fail. If that is accurate. Oh my god. Which leads me, now that apparently math, 2 + 2 is racist, and now that academics at all are showing the effort that you put into your academics is a display of your wealth and privilege, regardless of the background that you may or may not come from. No, that is now a video. It's to see if you have the right look. They want the right amount of diversity. Anything to do with logic is being thrown out the window. And now we come to today. Apparently, Venezuela is seeing shortages. Not only are they seeing shortages of food and toilet paper, but they are currently going through a fake titty drought. Venezuela, the socialist nation with universal free health care and all this other wonderful fun shit. Apparently, they have run out of, or actually, this is twofold. Apparently, us in the United States are not producing enough fake titties to keep up with demand, but also at the same time, as a result of their economy collapsing, once again, as a result of their socialist policies, many women are becoming distraught. It is apparently a common saying in Venezuela. Let me see. There it is. I'm going to attempt to get this right. All right. Sin titas no hay precio. Wow, that sounded really Italian, actually. Anyways, it essentially translates: without boobs, there is no paradise. But apparently, fake titties in Venezuela are about as common as grains of sand. Even pharmacies were giving out free boob jobs. I mean, this is insane. Essentially every woman in Venezuela has a pair of fake knockers, all paid for by the taxpayers, which in this case is essentially any company that still exists. And in this case, typically it's going to be the oil companies, which are getting taxed up the ass, and for the most part, as far as I know, only employing men. And who do you think is also paying these insane tax rates? But yeah. This is the stupidity of the world. College applications is a YouTube video. But you have to show your face because as a result of some court rulings, apparently they were no longer able to take race into account. So, of course, now you have to show your face in the video. It can't be of all the things you've done. It can't be about your achievements. It has to be about something stupid. It has to be about if you have dangly bits in between. Well, no, you really can't say that. I've seen some nightmares. If you don't have a Y chromosome, you have a better chance of getting it. And that's probably about the best way I can put this. And especially when it comes to any STEM field, apparently there's a problem. I gotta find it, and if I can, it's funnier than shit. Apparently the reason why there aren't more women in STEM fields is because there aren't more women in STEM fields. Yep, that's right. As a result of there not being a whole bunch of women in STEM fields, other women are, what did they, are intimidated, into going, or into staying out of those fields. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to call bullshit on this one. I know plenty of chicks that are getting into STEM fields. Sadly enough, some of them are, well, they're getting into it to try and find a STEM field husband. So if this is something you are going into, don't trust a bitch. Now, apparently, one of the problems that they're having is that because they don't have enough American-made silicone boobies, yeah, you know, the same silicone crap that they put in your Molson Light, in your Budweiser. Yeah, check it out. Most of your beers have silicone added to them as a foaming agent. Oh yeah, doesn't that sound tasty? But anyways, apparently we are as a result of their taxes, all of these businesses, they don't have the money to import American-made titties. So they have to go to Chinese-made titties, and the women are complaining because these, fake titties are rupturing and spilling out. That really does not sound pleasant. Yes. I will say though, quality control over here in the States, well, at least when it comes to our fake titties, is far, far higher. Or at least that's apparently the day-to-day opinion of women in Venezuela. But yes, this is the stupid, insane world that we are facing. God help us all. Or if you, well, keep in mind, that is an expression. I really don't care what you think. Fuck it. See ya.